First and foremost, let's promote some people up. And we've got some injured, so we're gonna rest for at least a day. But first and foremost, promote you. Hi there, Hogan. Hogan and his brother Mogan gotten the same question their entire lives. You don't find many twins about, and even fewer who know how to use an axe. Hogan tends to be the more level-headed of the two, which may explain why he ended up with a child and a wife. Okay. Mogan. Mogan and his brother Hogan have gotten the same question their entire lives. You don't find many twins about, and even fewer who know how to use an axe. Mogan tends to be the sort to act first and think later. This may explain the scar, amongst other things. Okay. And then me. Well, not really me, but you know what I mean. Like, he's the protagonist of this story. Okay. Let's do some training quickly. Right, noted. End turn. I need to bear in mind not to get that close up if I can't attack that round. Ouch. Fuck me. Okay, let's do it. Hold on. No. Because we can kill him with this. Fuck. These guys are tough. Perfect. That's seriously all the damage it did? That was pathetic. Okay. We really shouldn't be focusing on just this one guy. I forgot about that. Let's hit the archer. Nice. No, we should hit you. Then you're gonna move in, yep. Then we can kill you. Doing alright, we've... Yeah. 2 injured? Yeah, 2 injured, but still. 3 injured, but still. Take down your defense because you've got a crazy high defense. So. Fuck me. We might hit a crit. We don't. Still did well though. Nice. Okay. Didn't do awfully. Got kind of a gauge for those two characters. Now let's talk to you. How are you doing, Odd? I'm alright. No, but I realized after I handed you the banner I probably gave you the wrong impression. My husband's still in and out of consciousness. It doesn't look good. It's harder than I thought it would be, just not knowing. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny. My father named me Oddleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? People look up to you. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want to be known for handling my feelings. If I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. There's a siren. I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you. Yes, it's about the banner I thought about in a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. Your family. You should carry it. You're right. I should. It should be mine. I could carry it. But I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave, our banner would be divided. I think they would follow you. Come on, Rook. This isn't the time to pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us. I think this is what has to happen. Maybe this is what it means to be a strong woman. She looks sideways, eventually giving over a timid smile. I'm not sure if that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard or the sweetest. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Lillette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Guess I am the clan leader now. Let's rest for a night. And then we leave. Our heals up. Our 2 injured except for what's his name, who has another day to heal. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. Remind everyone that they're free to do as they please. You thank the men for coming to you, but raise your voice for everyone to hear. We all make decisions for ourselves and our families. We're all free to do what we must. Agreement echoes through the caravan as a small group of men take their leave. Complaints of Ransfard's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snagged canvas for a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Rasfier's leg before leading him to you. This man drinks nothing but water from now on. Ransfir groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the other onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you doubt it'll be long before Ransfir manages to find another drink, whether you're allowed or not. Hey, we're nearly there. Look. Dredge! Shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Rasfinir, the unabashed drunk, staggering towards you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings and furious men surround Rasfinir. There'll be time for that later, you tell the men. But now we take no chances. A full day of uneasy rest passes with no sign of Dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and the delay. Eventually, Rasfinir bursts into laughter, and you're sure there never were any Dredge. Not long after, Rasfinir goes missing. Nobody searches for him or seems to mind. Well, at least I didn't have to do it, or say that he could do it.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostvellir now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
Dude, I've just noticed how fucking huge that banner is. It's stylistic, I suppose. You jostle through fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostvellir for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddly finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody's been let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Val from Bloodspach, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, all the nearby villages. The Dredge are everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostvellir has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they closed the gates. When the Dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. I want to know more about what's going on in there. I see a lot of people gathered around the rest houses and gates. We could find out what they know. How do we get in anyway? They closed the gate. I can get that gate open. Let's see if there's another way before we start breaking down gates. I wasn't going to break it. Just push really hard. Well, that's actually pretty good because we don't want them attacking the archers, so let's get that. And we will give it to you to help protect you. Okay. Let's go to the gate. You approach the gate where hundreds of people are gathered. In the trodden, bloody space in front of the doors, several pin-cushioned bodies lie unclaimed, as though they simply belong there. Archers up on the wall make it clear that nobody will be getting in. Men and women below intermittently call for mercy and reason when they're not flinging stones and curses. Find out more from the crowd. You spend an hour talking to different people who all have the same story. A couple of days ago, the chieftain shut himself in, closed the gates, and refused any more refugees. They've got huge stores of supplies in there too, adds one man. They're just hoarding them. Leave the gates and try something else. You leave the crowds and head back down the hill. There are a lot of people gathered around the rest houses. There are a lot of people gathered around the rest houses, said Oddleaf, pointing. Maybe we can find help there, or at least make ourselves useful. Let's sneak in. Crawl through the walls. Or over the walls, even. What? What's... You spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shuts himself in his great hall and closed the gates. There are a lot of wounded people here, says Alette. Oh, wrong voice completely. There are a lot of wounded people here, adds Alette. We could help them. The rest house is overflowing with refugees, the sick and the wounded, and noise. Tend to the wounded. Alette and Oddleaf spend the day along with others in your caravan treating wounds, most of which come from archers at the gate. I overheard from one woman that the city has been sending carts with food around. Oddleaf tells you. Could be a way in, Iva replies. Next time they send a cart, we bring it back in. Oddleaf protests. Aside from leading to a fight, it would probably mean no more food for the refugees. We'll wait and confront them. Keep your sword down until we need it, you tell Iva. We'll make a deal unless they're looking for a fight. Early the next day, you spot another cart leaving the gates of the city. After they've thrown their scraps to refugees, you approach. Stop. My friend wanted to talk with you. It's not what I wanted. Think I can guess why? If we knew there were more fighters and Vaal out here, Ikel might have brought you in the city. Who's Ikel? He's in charge up there. In charge of what? Better let him explain. Fine, let's go. He nods. You follow him back up to the gates where they open the doors for you. A man clad in black approaches you as you step inside. What in the depths is this? The man orders his guards to get the doors closed again before more refugees notice. You said you wanted fighters? You heard about the chieftain. We heard he's hiding out in the Great Hall. Oh really? You think you mean hiding out in a grave? He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear. What happened? What happened in here? Soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got one to their head. That's the short story, anyway. At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst of the godforsaken Vaal. He eyes Iva and shrugs with exaggeration as if simply stating the obvious. We're in more danger here than out there. Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You've got some people who can fight, you've got your own Vaal. That counts for something. I can flee. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me, and to take back Frostvalir. I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad. Fine, cut these sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do now is to get off the damn streets. Think carefully about what you want. I mean, yeah, we gotta help the refugees, right? We're not staying here. Let us out. I don't know. No, I don't know if that's. Ikel has already shouted to his men who stare daggers in return. They just finished closing the massive doors. A fine waste of time and lives. Now get out. You pass again through the gates of Frostvalir. You wonder if you just threw away your best chance for survival. Oh, we know what we're doing. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Okay. Mark it first. What? Oh, this was the map. Right. Hi. What? What?